Download my free legato course right now and learn to play fast in the fastest way possible. It's 4 core exercises that you need to focus on in order to reach the highest level of mastery. And then I'm going to give you the 3 sub-skills of legato. Once you master these 3 little skills, then the overall skill of playing very fast runs using hammer-ons and pull-offs will be very easy. So go sign up right now and get immediate access for free. See you in the course. I have the autofocus on the camera because I'm going to move closer to you in just a little bit. So if it's kind of wobbly, that's why. The focus, I mean. I'm going to talk about how to hold the pig. Because if I look at the different YouTube videos out there, I can see almost every single way in which I transition between different ways of holding the pig. And the way I'm holding it now was what gave me the flexibility and freedom that I was really looking for. In the beginning, just going to move the mic here just a little bit, and I'm going to come over here. Hope the camera follows. In the beginning, I held it like I used to place it almost where I have the joint, the thumb joint there, and I was, and I put my joint and pointing it at a 90-degree angle away from the thumb, and then I was, I took the joint on my first finger there, and I placed it like this. So this was the feeling, and it gave me kind of, it's like the pig became an extension of my hand. So I couldn't really move it in any other way. I had to move my hand, which was, I guess, an advantage in the beginning because that made the movement very simple. But I quickly got into some limitations because, you can't really, there's a lot of little details you can't do when you're holding it like this. It becomes just a sharp point to your fist here. So I quickly started to hold it like this, put it on your thumb like that. And then I took 2 fingers and placed like that. And almost, I guess like this, right? See if this makes sense right there. Maybe it's too dark, the pig, so you can actually see the angle here. But that's how I held it. So place it right there. It's almost like this angle from the thumb. And then 2 fingers on it. And I did that for a while. And I got so used to it that it felt natural. Now I had some amount of flexibility here, but still it was kind of constraint. Puts a big constraint to how much you can move, actually. But you can move a little. And then the final thing was, because I saw Paul Gilbert do this, and so many others, basically, then I started holding it like you take your first finger and put it on there. This is big stubby Dunlops, by the way. It has a cavity, so you can really hold it tight, even though you have sweaty fingers. So you place it so it points in the same direction as your first finger or your index finger, and then you just put your thumb on, so you get like that going. Whoa, now we get some refocusing here. And that really became like, it felt really uncomfortable in the beginning because it was like, whoa, I only have 2 fingers on it. I need stability. But as I, kept doing it because there was some guy that I respected that held the pig like it, that's why I believed that I could do it. Otherwise, I would just have gone back to this one. But as I was playing like this, I quickly realized that this really is what gives me the greatest amount of flexibility. Moving back here again, bringing with me the mic. It gave me the greatest amount of flexibility because now I could do pinch harmonics and all kinds of stuff, and I could hit the strings accurately. Instead of having, because usually when you're picking, you really have different muscle groups working for you. You have the arm, you can use the arm, right, to do a movement like this. So this joint moves and the hand is fixed and the fingers are fixed and the hand is doing it. I don't recommend that. Because accuracy with the hand, with something as small as a string, because you want to have picking depth accuracy. You want to have the picking depth be the same all the time. Or at least you want to be able to control it, so you control the resistance you feel on each given pick stroke. If that is exactly the same, then the brain has an easy time picking fast or slow, because you know exactly. Anyone can do this, right? But to do it accurately requires that you have picking depth accuracy. And your hand, trying to get that with your hand is just too big a tool. It's just too big. And then you can use your wrist here, right? You can use your wrist to go up and down. It's also kind of big, but you can also create a pendulum like that, as I've been talking about in other videos. So you swing it you turn it like that. That's your picking motion. And when you're holding the pick with 2 fingers only, then you have this motion going on. And this can be a pendulum. Your pinky almost acts as a pendulum. It has some weight, so it's easier to swing back and forth with something big when you have some weight to it than it is with something, right, small. But if you do this, you have a nice chance of getting an accurate picking motion. And then your fingers, if you then anchor it at where the low E string meets the bridge, as we've been talking about, and have this feeling in your hand, and not this one, because this is hard to get up to speed and get accurate, then you have the most amount. This is my experience anyway, and in the people I modeled or tried to, those people, I picked the people who, in my perspective, had the most accurate, the most effective picking technique, and they all held the pick like this, and they all had kind of this motion going on. In John McLaughlin, if you look at his picking technique, it's very obvious that he's doing this and not this. So that's it. That's how I recommend that you do it. If anyone who asked me about how should I hold the pick, I would say in this way. And if you play like this for 6 months and it just doesn't work for you, look for other ways. But I warmly recommend that you give this a huge chance and not hold it like that, where you have how are you going to control the little nuances and the pinch harmonics? Where the pick hits the string and then your finger a little bit, stuff like that. It really gives you the most amount of freedom in my perspective. And if you feel differently and if you can achieve something with a different position, then please do all you can to comment below this video. It's not that it's not that anything else is wrong. It's always about effectiveness and efficiency. How effective are you in getting what you want? So you have to know what you want. If all you want to do is model a guy who holds the pick like that, and you want to have his picking technique, and you want to play like him, then by all means, of course, hold the pick like that, if that's how he holds it, right? So, and that's the most effective way for you to do it, because your goal is to play like him, so you want to do like him, of course, right? So that's effective. But my goal was another one. My goal was to have the most amount, and this is where, now it sounds like the other thing is wrong again, Claus. My goal was to have the most amount of freedom, the most effective in general, meaning I could pick hard, I could pick soft, I could do pinch harmonics, I could do, techniques with the same picking technique without having to shift position in my hand. All of these things with the least amount of energy. With using as little force as humanly possible. That was the goal. So, and this worked the best for me. So try it out.
Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.